Hi, my name's Selena with What's Up Oxford, and I'm joined today by Lindsay Wilson from Community Futures Oxford. Welcome, Lindsay.
Hi, Selena. How are you?
Good. We're all rocking the Zoom interviews
That's
these days.
right.
How are you finding this new way of communicating?
uh, it's nice because I find in some ways you do rely on other people to communicate more than before. Before it was easy just to send a quick email, and now you kind of have to like pick up the phone more often, which I'm enjoying. But it's different.
Definitely is. So tell us a little bit about what you do pre-pandemic. Forget about what's happening right now.
Sure.
What is it that Community Futures Oxford does?
Sure. So Community Futures Oxford is a program that is funded by the federal government, but we're kind of subcontracted to deliver our services with some funding that we get from them. So we kind of have three main products, if you will. So the first one is that if you have a question about starting your business or you're looking to expand and you're just kind of wanting to work through those details, we can do a one-on-one consultation to kind of help you through maybe a business planning process or thinking about your cash flow or all those kind of details related to your business. We have financing, most often for when you can't get it at a bank for lots and lots of reasons. And then we also have community economic development. So that's funding and support for projects that kind of leverage our community, maybe for events or projects that support groups of entrepreneurs.
Okay, so now we're in the pandemic. We've got all of these things that have changed in our day-to-day lives. You've got a couple of things that you put in place relatively quickly to help support small business. So tell us a little bit about those. I know that we've got something designed to support the actual businesses that had to shut down here in Oxford County.
Right, exactly. So a couple of days into, when our lives changed quite rapidly, early March, we noticed that a lot of businesses, even though at that time they weren't mandated to close, they were still making the decision to close because it was what was safest for their customers, for their staff, or for themselves and their families. But that meant they needed to find different ways to get their products to their customers. So they were either, delivering, or they were doing curbside pickup, and like I said kind of before we started, we're used to that now, but that was very new to a lot of businesses as we got into this. So we worked with Tourism Oxford and we compiled a list of who, based on what we could see on social media, who kind of was doing that, and then we created a website with a business called The Social Factory called Supporting Oxford. And the role of the website was to be kind of a one-place directory where you could find businesses that were still operating, but differently, how to connect with them, how to place your order, what they were kind of doing differently, so that we could help those businesses reach their customers. But then on the flip side, help customers understand how they could still get what they needed without leaving their home, ideally, or doing contactless or whatever that might look like. So that's up, and we have a Facebook page now, which we've grown quite quickly, and we're hoping to kind of create a welcoming, supportive environment to encourage people to spend locally if they're in a position to do so, and help businesses get that information out to their consumers.
And I think keeping those dollars as local as possible, online delivery is great, online shopping is great, but if you can do that locally, it's so much better.
Yeah. Well, we actually found in most cases, if you order locally, it will come much faster. And so that's, that's great. You don't have to wait weeks on weeks to get something from wherever, because a lot of them are doing weekly deliveries. So it'll come, faster in the end anyway.
Yeah. And then there's a stockroom program. So tell us a little bit about that. So it's a little different.
Sure. So a few weeks ago, our board of directors approved and gave our staff direction to create what we're calling the emergency microloan. So there were lots of businesses, again, that had to close. And there's kind of these strange gaps in the federal funding that's been announced to date. So people are probably familiar with the Canadian Emergency Business Account, which is the $40,000 that some is forgivable and you get through your bank. So which is a wonderful program, and lots of businesses have been able to access it. But you do need to have a minimum payroll of $20,000. So if it's just you and you're self-employed, that means you don't qualify. but maybe you're an RMT or you're a hairstylist, you still have to pay rent, and you still have to keep the phone on, and you still have to, you might have inventory or that you owe, or whatever it ends up being, and so they needed access to be able to get through these months where they're mandated to close. And actually a lot of those, some businesses have been able to find ways they are able to operate in the meantime, but others, a lot of those personal service ones, there's no plan B for them. The only thing they can do is wait to reopen. And so the 30,000 through our office, they created some really unique terms. So for the first 6 months, there's no payments on the loan, and there's no interest charged. And then for the next 6 months, it's just the interest only. And then starting in the 12th month is when we would look at doing the actual loan payment. So the terms are quite flexible, and hopefully providing some support so that people can continue to pay their rent or whatever the obligations they have. So that was something that we've launched in the last couple of weeks as well.
Excellent. So how can people find out more about that, or how do they apply for that loan?
Sure. So the first thing, if they just kind of want to read a little bit more about it, of course, there's lots of information that we've updated on our website, which is cfoxford.ca. There's a section in the website dedicated to it. And then we actually launched an online application process through the thick of everything, which is interesting because, as a team, we're learning that new, and then our clients are working through that as well. But there is an online application. But what we can't stress enough is you can just give us a call or send us an email and let us know what's going on, and we can try to help you find the best solution.
Awesome. Now, what is the web address for the Supporting Oxford website?
So that is www.supportingoxford.ca. And we also have a Facebook page too. We try to share other posts that businesses are doing to try to, amplify the message they're trying to get out. So Supporting Oxford on Facebook, and then supportingoxford.ca is the website.
Now, do you have any good news stories that you want to share because of this information?
Oh my goodness. I think what has been wonderful, despite the crisis that we're going through and trying to digest that trauma with everyone, is, the community really is coming out quite strongly in some ways, and by that I just mean like a sense of community and helping one another. I'm noticing businesses don't want to leave other businesses behind, like they want to help one another, and they want to create partnerships where they can and really support each other. And some businesses have done quite well finding alternative solutions. I know, Early Bird Coffee, for example, they're selling out every single week that they're doing deliveries. So, the community is there and wanting to support these local businesses. And I think, when this is all over, that sense of community will really continue, we hope.
I think it's amazing. And thank you so much for all the work that you do, because I know that supporting small business is such a huge part of what makes us great here in Oxford County.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how can people get in touch with you at Community Futures Oxford?
Sure. So checking our website is a great way to find kind of some base information, but the easiest thing to do is to usually just call 519-425-0401. We have that line directed to our staff, so you can still reach us at that number even though we are not in the office. So that's the easiest way, or you can find all of our email addresses on our website.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Lindsay, and that's great information.
Thank you so much. Yes. Take care.